All right, so I'm gonna take you guys on a little journey around my my back pasture. One nice thing, one nice thing about being in a arid fucking climate like this is kind of like in Alaska, which was not arid, but it was extreme. You get these extreme left and right limits, right? So in Alaska, you get the extreme. Whoop, sorry, get the sun out of your face there. You get the extreme. We don't get any fucking sunlight, so everything has to bloom within a 3-month window, you know, right? And then here in Texas, you get kind of the same thing, but it's micro, because like the sun shines fine, but we ain't got no fucking water. So that, you know, you can study how and why water table management and microclimates and, you know, just all the things like, how do I fix my water table? Well, let's take a little journey around and learn. So let me flip this around. Dead, 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 dead. It's all fucking dead. A little bit of green, a little bit of green. So let's zoom in here. My neighbor, who subscribes to the cut everything the fuck off your land, till it all under, and hope it fucking grows back, asks me why I don't cut this mesquite tree down. Look at all that green underneath there. All right, look at this little microclimate. Look at my root spacing, right? It starts to die off the further we get away from the tree. The only thing that saves that is it's a swale. Right? And then the only part that saves that is that it's a swale. But then look, dead, 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 swale. Oh look, we got roots in the ground and we got some fucking green. Deadish swale. Terrible root spacing. Everything's fucking dead. I fed 2 swales and a check dam. We got a patch of green. Around even that dead tree, which is dead because there used to be, my old check dam there was literally just a pile of garbage that I inherited. And it was a mix of, I don't know, house trash and like trees that the previous 2 tenants had cut off the property. And like you can see now, it's still kind of a fireplace. And there's like pottery and metal and like random bullshit and like carpets and stuff. Like, what the fuck? This right here is the green belt. At least that's what I call it anyways. This is literally the first swale I ever cut 7 years ago when I first got here and started playing with this shit. I literally just went down in a straight line with a pickaxe. And I just like picked, took a step backwards, picked, took a step backwards, pick, and I did that all the way down. Just as an experiment, just to play with it. To this day, this is still one of the greenest spots. But my root placement is still shit. All the soil out here is awful. But even with that, in spite of that, you know, it's a part of why I don't cut the cedars down immediately. You know, look at that. That one, well, that one's kind of a misnomer because it's a fucking power line. Got another micro swale. But now check this out. So this is the start of a little microforest, right? As we get in here, between the big ass tree roots in the ground, look at this. Look at all the microclimate we got in here. We got cactus taking root. As I walk inside my little circle that I've domed out here. Nice little shady spot. I'm working towards building this into the goatasis. Eventually I'll fence this circle in. And this is part of where the goats will live. But look at here. Look at my root spacing. Nice, dense, close together shit. We just cut all that down, so that's all dead still. That still needs time to grow. But there's an entire green halo outside of this little microforest in here. You know, roots in the ground means water embedment, means penetration. It means other things can grow. You know, one of my favorite things is when people tell me like, cedars take too much water. Willows take too much water. Yeah. Like, you should study moringa. Moringa is an amazing plant. As soon as I have the money, because moringa seeds are fucking expensive. As soon as I have the money, all along these swales, and probably in the bed of my, I'm probably in the bed of my pond there, I'm gonna plant hella moringa. And for the first 3 years that the moringa is in the ground, I won't have any water in that pond. I'm trying to get the sun out of y'all's eyes. I won't have any water in that pond, right? But after 3 years, I will always have water in that pond, because moringa does two things to the root system, or with its root system. First, in the beginning, it needs tons of fucking water, like a lot. But after it's established in 3 years, moringa needs almost no water. Like, the first 3 years, it's the camel drinking at the oasis. The rest of its life, it's the camel walking the desert. You know what I mean? So, willow does the same thing. Willow's not native to Texas either, so like that's another reason people don't like it. People fucking freak out about natives and non-natives, but yet they bring fucking Angus from Scotland to raise them here. Like, whatever. People don't make any fucking sense with how they make decisions, you know? Oh, Angus and fucking Hereford are a popular beef cattle, but they're from a fucking northern climate. Why aren't they putting any weight on? We fucked up their abosamum, or whatever the fuck part of the rumen processes grass. We fucked it up so much that all they can eat is grass. Well, like, there's no fucking grass in Texas. So, you know, anyways, yeah, you know, just like, you gotta get out and you gotta study your climate. You gotta get out, you gotta study your region. What can you do? What does that look like in terms of like other regions? What have other regions done to succeed? You know, at least that's how I approach it anyways. I've been all over the world, you know, so I guess that kind of gives me an unfair advantage in that I've seen, I don't know, hundreds, if not thousands of different fucking regions and climates and microclimates inside of that. Because, like, on that note, you know, I am in Coppers Cove, Texas. Coppers Cove, Texas is kind of a weird, anomalous little spot. We have 5 hills arranged in like, hold on. We have 5 hills in kind of like a C shape or a horseshoe shape. And what that does, and then that horseshoe, all of them, they have mad fucking cedars on them. And the first 2 years, I believed what the Texans told, what the native Texans told me, you know, what the folks who have been living here, I believe what they told me. They're like, cedars take too much water. Then why is that the only fucking thing growing here? Like, in the 5 Hills area, why is that the only thing that fucking grows in abundance if it takes so much fucking water? You know what I mean? And so I just started to observe naturally. Well, in the 5 Hills area, cedars condensate. We get weird fog. And there are 2 or 3 times of year where that fog is literally the only precipitation we get. And it's not even reported on AccuWeather or any of my other weather apps, because, like, they consider water falling from the sky the only fucking precipitation. You know, so AccuWeather will give us a fucking dense fog warning, but then you'll look and it'll say 0% chance of precipitation or 1% chance of precipitation. So, like, you know, you had to learn to read multiple languages. Well, the cedars, they draw all this fog in, and then as the fog passes through the cedars, it condensates further. It goes through a state change, and it goes from you know, aether to liquid, you know, state change, and then that water drips down from the cedars onto the ground. It's not a lot, but, like, we kind of have to manage whatever allowance we're given, you know? If if mom and dad only give you a $2 fucking allowance, but you need $15 for something, you better fucking manage that properly. You know what I mean? So, anyways, this is starting to get a little bit long and ranty. So, I just wanted to bring you guys that observation and update on the idea of like taking a look around. What will grow? What does grow? What can you do? So, anyways, thanks for tuning in. Y'all stay blessed.